And welcome back to part 2 of What If Nappa and Vegeta want Oozaru in the original Saiyan arc, which is what I basically did. Now, unfortunately, I should have it. I have my notebook here. I should have the guy's name. Hold a second, I can give you a proper shout out again, because I always want to give that a shout out. So I gave you a shout out in the last video. I did. Where are you? Muhammad Uzair Khan. There you go. Muhammad Uzair Khan gave me the suggestion. And when I initially did, I'm like, yeah, it's not going to end well. And then but then because I was doing it on the fly, which I'm kind of going to be doing again, because I kind of make these realizations. I'm going like, oh, this could happen. And I came to a realization that I'm like, when we got towards the end, because they pretty much when those are when no one was strong enough to kill them, they would blow up the planet. The Dragon Balls are no longer useful, and yeah, they'll work for Frieza all the while trying to underhand him, but it doesn't work, and they can't get the Dragon Balls to work until they get Nail and Guru. And just to recap, Nail, unlike Dende, was strong enough to take on pretty much everyone there because he didn't call the Ginyu Force, except Frieza, and he knew this. But unlike Dende, he was smart enough and could keep a level head to be like, they don't understand Namekian. I can wish for whatever the hell I want. So he wished them away. Then he wished everyone that Frieza and his men killed back to life. And then he basically gave them some sort of protection for Namek, so they can't be targeted by Frieza or them again. So that's how I saw that happening. Now, Brandon Whitman, I believe, was it Brandon Whitman who raised that point? Let me check that real quick. I want to say it was Brandon. Someone raised a very good point. I know that. I think it was Brandon who did. Give me a second, Brandon. I want to give you a proper shout out if you were the one who suggested this. You've been a long time supporter of mine, so thanks for that. Was it Brandon who suggested that? Well, wait a minute. It might have been Brandon, but it might have been someone else who commented on that as well. So one second. Oh yeah, Brandon did suggest they probably all trained with King Kai because they all died, but they all died heroically. I'm like, yeah, you made a good point there. Because I originally said at the end of the episode that I'm like, no, they all come back probably about the same. I'm like, no way, you raised a good point. They probably all would have trained with King Kai, yeah. And then I'm gonna butcher your name, but I'm gonna try my best. Sanal, or that S might be silent. Nahal. It's either Snahal or Nahal. Desai. I said they would have probably done it much more seriously because the Saiyans whooped their asses, especially Goku. And again, I'm like, yeah, you raised a good point. And like, okay, yeah. So now I had to adjust for that, and so I had to basically do some power levels fluctuations and power scaling. So basically, when they get wished back, and I'm doing this based off of Goku, how strong he was when he came back from training with King Kai in the Saiyan arc. He was about 20 times stronger from when because he was around 324 million. He was a little stronger than Piccolo was. And he was around 8,000 when he was done training. So he was somewhere, it was like a times 20 multiplier overall. It was like 19, but round up to 20. Now, factor that into the fact that Gohan's also a Saiyan. I have to attribute that a bit to his Saiyan biology. And Piccolo is a Namekian, so he probably can improve at a faster rate than the others can as well. And put in the factoring that they all have each other to train with, and 10 times gravity, and they're all training a lot more seriously. So they were all training a lot more seriously. I factored it like this. All the humans pretty much took about a 20 times increase from their power levels from the Saiyan arc. Goku, Gohan, and Piccolo all went about 30 times because they were all training hard. They were all training like never before. They were all taking it really seriously. They had the biology to them, and it's 10 times gravity to be training in. So when you factor that in, Goku, when they all get wished back, it is like this. Goku is at 240,000 with the capability of using a times 10 Kaioken. Gohan, I think, will also learn the Kaioken, but just because he's younger, his body can't acclimate to it properly, even as a Saiyan, or just not as strong as his dad. So he can do about a times 5. He's around 36,000, which means he can go to about 180,000 when it's all said and done with the Kaioken. Goku can go about 2.4 million. Piccolo is around 105,000. I think he also learns the Kaioken because I think as a warrior, he's smart enough to know the advantages of it. Plus, being a Namekian and having regenerative capabilities, his physical fortitude is a lot tougher than, say, a normal individual. Maybe not quite Saiyan level, but his regenerative capabilities gives him an edge there, I think. Then everyone else takes about times 20, which puts Krillin around 30,000, Tien about 36.6 thousand. He's a little stronger than Gohan, but just not quite the same. Chaozu is around 12.2 thousand, and Yamcha is around 29.6 thousand. Now, Frieza and his crew, Vegeta and Nappa included. And I think Vegeta and Nappa would be doing some training at this point too. So we'll round Nappa up to around 20,000, Vegeta up to around 30,000. But they keep their powers in check. They know how to suppress their powers at this point. So they go try to find Namek, but whatever wish Nail made basically makes Namek impossible for them to find anymore. Frieza is livid. But then what I think kind of happens is they with their scanner sensors and whatnot, he's pissed off at Vegeta. For it's like, Vegeta, you it's like if you hadn't destroyed the Earth, this would never have happened, Vegeta. And he's getting really pissed. And he's like, even Vegeta knows, like, I still can't take Frieza on at this point. Even if I went Oozaru, I could put up a good fight, but it wouldn't be enough. And he's, yeah, but then there's something going on in this sector of the universe, and blah 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 blah. And their sensors pick up that Earth has returned. That Earth itself, it's like, what's this, Vegeta? I thought you said you destroyed it. Did you lie to me? If I lied to you, why would I lie to you, Lord? Why would I lie to you, Lord Frieza? But I destroyed Earth, and Frieza can even see the look on Vegeta's face. It's like, no, he's not lying to me. He's legitimately surprised by this. What's going on here? He's like, wait, could it be? That green Namekian bastard wished us away. He must have wished for all of the people we killed back, and since we work for you, that included the Earth and everyone on it. And as he says that, he realizes that Kakarot is back. So they realize that, which means their Dragon Balls may have returned as well. And then Vegeta is like, yes, Lord Frieza, indeed. Would you like us to go ahead? Oh, no, we'll go there. But first, and he goes like, call the Ginyus in. And they realize, like, oh, crap, Vegeta. Yeah. So they'll go off and do some minor training for themselves while they're en route. So maybe you'll see Vegeta get up to maybe like 35,000 and Nappa up to 25,000. Let's just say the Ginyus, they all arrive on Earth, and basically when everyone's still been training, preparing for the day, like Vegeta and I guess Frieza in this case come by, and Kami senses them approaching and summons them all to the lookout, saying that, we've got to collect the Dragon Balls, bring them to the lookout to keep them safe. I'll keep them here, and we'll use them as a last case resort. Meanwhile, everyone's been training, preparing for the Saiyans. I mean, they don't have a lot of time for this. So because by the time that King Kai can actually probably warn them ahead of time. Now, I could see an argument being made that maybe a couple of them use the hyperbolic time chamber in this case. But they explained that the whole issue of Frieza and the whole tyranny is, I just don't think they feel comfortable using the hyperbolic time chamber at this point. I think they're just going to train on their own. And basically, by the time they all arrive, the Dragon Balls have been collected. They don't use them. They haven't used them yet. But Goku is somewhere around the lines of around 300,000. Gohan's about 50,000. Krillin's around 40,000. Tien's around 45,000. Chiaotzu's 20,000. Yamcha's around 35,000. Piccolo's around 150,000. Yeah, the Kaioken's in there. You get a Gohan that can go to 250,000 when it's times 5. Goku can go to times 10, 3 million. And Piccolo can go to 1.5 million. Now, it all stands out. The Ginyus arrive. Everyone's there. It's like, Kakarot. And then Surprise like, so these the fighters. They're not the same, Lord Frieza. It's like, what? What are you talking about? They're just the silly monkeys. And, no, another Namekian. How delightful. And then Frieza's forces go. Chaozu alone kicks the living crap out of all of Frieza's forces. Just like, just Dodon rays and all that. It's like, yeah, and Yamcha, him. I would say Krillin, Yamcha, and Tien. Well, actually, Krillin, Yamcha, and Chaozu just are busy dealing with them. The Ginyu Force gets involved, and Guldo and Chaozu go head to head. That's, I think, an interesting fight of their psychic capabilities. So, here's the thing: is that it's like Guldo tries to freeze, and Chaozu freezes, but then Chaozu can still do the same thing. Because remember, and I'm going to preface this when I do the power level video for Chaozu. Chaozu's real strength doesn't lie in his real... I mean, he's a martial artist. He is. But it doesn't lie in his physical... It's not the same like as Krillin or Yamcha or Tien or Vegeta or Piccolo. His ki, his fighting prowess, it's not his true strength. His true strength lies in his psychic abilities. Because even in Super, even though it was a full arc, we saw that he was able to at least temporarily freeze Goku, who is capable of going into a Super Saiyan God form at this point. He can do that. It's insanely powerful as psychic abilities. So they're going to do a little battle of psychic wills, but then I think Tien's just going to come in and kill Gildo. But then, Burter, Jace. Burter, I think... Because Ginyu State would take some power level around 50,000, 60,000 to overwhelm the Ginyu Force. I think Burter's supposed to be somewhere in like the neighborhood of... Not Burter, Raccoon, sorry. He's like in around a 40, 45,000, and then Jace and Burter are around the same power level. But Jace is the stronger, whereas Burter's the faster in terms of like pure power. So they're around 50,000, I think. So it's basically the lower level Z fighters are all going to be taking on the Ginyu Force. Basically, Ginyu's going to try to take on Goku, but Gohan gets in the way, does a Kaioken, and just boom, blast. So they're going to be going toe to toe for a while. Meanwhile, or he's going to try to. I think Piccolo will actually get in his way to protect Gohan, and they'll be duking it out. Vegeta, Ginyu and Piccolo. Piccolo obviously being the stronger. He's going to try and maybe fuse with him, but I think Goku will, or so one of them will try to get in the way and stop him. Basically, there's going to be a lot of fighting going on now, because you also got like Zarbon and Dodori there. They're not dead. And Nappa and Vegeta. Nappa and Vegeta will kind of try to take on like the ones they know they can take on, like Chaozu and Yamcha. I think they'll try to take on, but they know for a fact that they're a little outclassed. They don't realize they can't understand how strong these guys have gotten. So we'll cut a little ahead of things. Ginyu Force has been taken out. Ginyu tries his body switch technique, but I do think Piccolo is able to, if something gets in the way, and he's unable to get the body switch technique off, and basically Ginyu is killed by Piccolo, I think. So we cut forward now. I think Chaozu might be killed again. I think all the Z fighters are still around, honestly. And at this point, it's pretty much Vegeta, Nappa, and Frieza. And Frieza's definitely upset that like his main task force has been killed. But overall, he's like, oh, seems I have to get my hands dirty now. No, Lord Frieza. And then they let us take care of it. And then they throw it up in the sky, and they turn into Oozarus again. This time out, and I think actually here's the thing. I think Gohan might still have his tail. Because if you remember, he got his tail back initially. And that's why he transformed into the Great Ape against Vegeta. But I think Gohan might still have his tail. And at 50,000, he'll transform into the Great Ape. And, he'll be stronger than either of them. And it'll just be Great Ape versus Great Ape. Granted, they'll tag team him and just be overall able to dominate him. But then he'll instinctively use a Kaioken on a Great Ape. That sounds hilarious. So Kaioken Great Aping this crap out. Just a basic Kaioken, nothing huge. So he's going to be going out, and they're just going to be throwing these apes around. And eventually they cut off Gohan's tail, but Piccolo, he's charged a special beam cannon, just skewers and just throws it right through Nappa. Because even at base power level, charging his special beam cannon makes it far stronger than just his base power level. We saw that when he did it against Raditz. I think his power level was like 400 and... Sorry, Goku's power level was 400 and something then. Like 408. And it charged him to like triple the power. So if Piccolo has enough power to do that, then he'll charge to like a power of like 450,000, which is more than enough to kill either of them. Takes out Nappa, just blows a hole through it. It's like Nappa, and then he's about to go in. Goku comes in with a basic double Kaioken and just boom, smacks Vegeta in the head, and then just takes his tail off. Rips at the Krillin Kienzines that crap, and just no. It's like no, you're next. And now Frieza's just like, good help is so hard to find. And then he just like, and then powers up to his full power. It's like, whoa, and Piccolo and Gohan, everyone like that. It's just extremely, luckily, and they give the people that need senzu beans the senzu beans. Gohan gets a senzu bean because he's kind of beat the hell, so he recovers a bit. And it's giving him a Zenkai boost for going about the 25% scale there. That's somewhere in the neighborhood of about 62. We'll go 63,000. It's like, go on, hold on, close beam. And so yeah, he powers up to his full power. 1 second. Hair on my glasses. So now it's Frieza, and they all want to join in. Most of them want to join in, but they know that they overall can't stand up to this guy. Like Krillin, Yamcha, Tien, Chaozu. They all know they can't do anything. So Krillin, basically Piccolo, Goku, and Gohan basically pretty much just say, stay back. If you can find an opening to do something, which pretty much is saying, Tien, Chaozu, Krillin, you all have techniques that can possibly do something. You have the Neo Tri-Beam, Tien. You have the Kianzan, Krillin. You have your psychic abilities, Chaozu. If you can, do something. Look pretty there, Yamcha. You have no other choice to do so. You remember, you've got a girlfriend in Bulma to come home to. Bulma and Yamcha would still be a thing at this point, because Vegeta's still there. He's not dead. He's just looking like, they can't take on Frieza, they're nuts. And then they actually power up to full power. Just, So now you're seeing them full power, going in. They can sense it. So they're using the Kaioken. They know they need to fight him. So Goku's probably using a ×5 Kaioken at this point. And right off the bat, he's over 1 million in terms of his power. Piccolo is also probably using a ×5 Kaioken, so he would be 75,000, 750,000, and Gohan's maxing out his Kaioken. So they're going on, and Frieza's immediately like astounded, like, oh, what? It's like, then he's getting bitched around for a little bit. It's like, you monkey, you great slug. Transforms into second form. It's like, no, what do you? Boom! Krillin, both Goku and Piccolo just come in. Special beam cannon. Frieza's barely out to get out of the way, but Kamehameha. Goku then fires it again. He's still doing ×5. Doesn't have to go full power right now. Blasts Frieza down. Frieza's kind of basically as he is after he got that initial fight with Piccolo. He's hurting. All of a sudden he sees Kienzan come from, and he was able to get away, but his tail gets cut off just like it did before. Then suddenly he just sees Tri-Beam! Boom, blast, like, rah! Then that's it! Transforms into his third form. It's like, now what do you think? Now he's starting to get the upper hand. Now he's starting to beat the crap out of these guys a bit. Goku and Piccolo both go full Kaioken at this point, and then they're pushing him back once again here. So, and Goku's at 3 million at this point, so he's able to really push back Frieza and actually do some damage. Like, you have my final transformation! And he doesn't he tries to, but he's stuck. He can't focus his energy. He doesn't know what's happening. He sees Chaozu there. Then Chaozu's struggling, but he's holding this. Finally, it's like, Kamehameha. Piccolo's charging enough. It's like Hachiyak, basically. And Gohan's got a Masenko. Neo Tri-Beam, Kianzan. Yamcha's doing a Kamehameha as well. Tri-Beam, special beam cannon. Boom! Before Frieza can even get to that final form. Chaozu's the linchpin in this, as it turns out. Because remember, again, Chaozu could freeze Goku base form. Mind you, it was only temporary, but it was long enough that if someone were to attack him, he could have attacked him. Frieza's a lot weaker than base form Goku, who can go into God form. So he freezes them just then just done with, son. They done. Frieza's nothing more than a husk, and Vegeta's just completely and utterly shocked and dumbfounded that what just happened happens. Like, he's dead. You're dead, you purple bastard. And surprisingly, Kami's just like, oh, well, I guess we didn't have to use the Dragon Balls after all. Good thing we brought him anyway. So, yeah. Now the question is, what do we do with Vegeta? It's like, well, I can't. I think Vegeta actually at this point with Nappa gone and realizing just how strong these guys have gotten, is like, I can't take these guys on. They cut off my tail. Granted, I think they'll be. Look, Vegeta's gonna survive this. He is. I think that he can't take him on. It's like it's like he's still pissed, but he realizes like I know when I can't win. Damn it, I know when I can't win. I can't even threaten to destroy his planet up. I'd be dead before then. So yeah, they let Vegeta live. They give him a senzu bean, and they says like, just go off and do whatever you want. And it's like, we don't want. It's like, yeah, it's like, seriously. And then give him a senzu bean, giving the Zenkai boost, and remembering how big a Zenkai boost he got last time. We'll honestly put him at that 250 million, 1,000 mark. He was kind of, or that the V jump basically says he was at initially. Granted, that wasn't his full power at that point. But still, because Saiyan Zenkai boosts get weird once you get into these levels. Which actually means I should probably put Gohan at a higher power level than the 60 something million. We'll put him at a solid 200,000, we'll say, because that's kind of where he was at when his whole inner power thing got, plus Zenkai boost. Let's not forget that. So and yeah, now that I think about it, I've been factoring that in a bit wrong. But anyway, so yeah, well, yeah, we'll put Gohan just at a solid 150. We'll put him at the same power level as Piccolo, basically. So yeah, that even makes that seem more epic than it was before. So I think it ends with Vegeta, who's around, we'll just say 200,000, going off into space training, vowing that he will come back and get the Dragon Balls and all that. And then with the arrival, before everything's said done, of Trunks. Now, depending how these Who What Ifs go, the whole Trunks arc thing doesn't happen the way it should. Like, Trunks doesn't exist because Vegeta and Bulma don't hook up. But you could make an argument that a version of Trunks exists where Yamcha and Bulma hooked up. Maybe he looks the exact same. He's just not a Saiyan. But there's also, but because of the way timelines kind of work in the Dragon Ball universe, you can make an argument that nothing changed. So I think you could see the argument being made that that Trunks shows up, and it's the Trunks we know, Super Saiyan Trunks, all that, who's the son of Vegeta and Bulma. And that is where we're going to leave off part 2. We'll get into part 3 sometime next week. I gotta say, I'm really enjoying how this one played out, how this one's playing out. It's really cool to me, because I'm like, yeah, no, this is going in directions I didn't think it would, and it's awesome. So yeah, so just to recap, Vegeta lives, Nappa's dead. Vegeta's like around his post Ginyu fight power level, but pre-fighting Frieza. All the Z Warriors are still alive. Dragon Balls weren't used. I was wondering if I was going to have to bring in the Ex Machina Dragon Ball wish, but I didn't have to. Frieza's dead. It was a group effort, but Frieza's dead. And Trunks has shown up, and he's surprised by what happened. What's happened? So he asked the question, and we're going to get into that next episode of this one. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you have something you'd like us to review, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll get to it at some point. So far, I've only ever had one request to do that. It was for Double Dragon, and I did it. I watched the movie, and I reviewed the movie. Yeah. Ideas for who would win, Star Wars, Superior Magic, What If, anything I do on the channel, put in the comments below. Let me know. We'll get to it at some point. Tomorrow will be a who would win, or Tuesday, depending when I get to it, as well as Wednesday. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see Molly's game, I think, on Tuesday, and then Paddington 2 is probably the movie I'm catching on this week. Because, I mean, I like me a good Liam Neeson action flick, but it looks kind of like that, what was it? Not Unstoppable. Was that Unstoppable? No, that was the Denzel Washington one. Unknown, that's what it was. It looks more like that Unknown one, as opposed to more like Run All Night or Taken. So it doesn't look quite on the same level as those movies, but it looks more like on the level of Unknown. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you